So justly to grave ears I'll present how I did thrive in this fair lady's love, and she in mine. Say it, Othello. Here her father led me, oft invited me, so questioned me the story of my life from year to year, the battles, sieges, fortunes that I have passed. I ran it through, even from my boyish days, to the very moment that he bade me tell it, wherein I spake of most disastrous chances of moving accidents by flood and field. Of hairbreadth scapes I the imminent deadly breach of being taken by the insolent foe, and sold to slavery, on my redemption thence importance in my travels history, wherein of antries vast and deserts idle, rough quarries, rocks, and hills whose heads touch heaven, it was my hint to speak, such was the process, and of the cannibals that each other eat, the anthropophagi, and men whose heads do grow beneath their soldiers. This to hear would Desdemona seriously incline, but still the house affairs would draw her thence, whichever as she could with haste dispatch. She'd come again with a greedy ear devour up my discourse, which I, observing, took once a pliant hour, and found good means to draw from her a prayer of earnest heart, that I would all my pilgrimage dilate, where of my parcels she had something heard, but not intentively. I did consent, and often did beguile her of her tears, when I did speak of some distressful stroke that my youth suffered. My story being done, she gave me for my plans a world's size. She swore in faith 'twas strange, 'twas passing strange, 'twas pitiful, 'twas wondrous pitiful. She wished she had not heard it, yet she wished that heaven had made her such a man. She thanked me, and bade me, if I had a friend that loved her, I should but teach him how to tell my story, and that would woo her. Upon this hint I spake. She loved me for the dangers I had passed, and I loved her that she did pity them. This only is the witchcraft I have used. Here comes a lady, let her witness it. I think this tale would win my daughter too, good Bermancio. Take up this mangled matter at the best. Men do their broken weapons rather use than their bare hands. I pray you, hear her speak. If she confessed that she was half the wooer, destruction on my head, if my bed, blame light on my man. Come hither, gentle mistress, do you perceive in all this noble company where most you owe obedience? My noble father, I do perceive here the divided duty. To you I am bound for life and education. My life and education both do learn me how to respect you. You are the lord of duty, I am hitherto your daughter. But here's my husband, and so much duty as my mother showed to you, preferring you before her father, so much I challenge that I may profess due to the more my lord. God be with you, I have done. Please it your grace unto the state affairs, I had rather do adopt a child than give it. Come hither more. I here do give thee that with all my heart, which but thou hast already with all my heart, I would keep from thee. For your sake, jewel, I am glad at soul I have no other child. For thy escape would teach me tyranny, to hang clogs on them. I have done, my lord. Let me speak like yourself and lay a sentence, which as a grise or step may help these lovers into your favor. When remedies are past, the griefs are ended by seeing the worst which late on hopes dispended. To mourn a mischief that is past and gone is the next way to draw new mischief on. What cannot be preserved, when fortune takes patience, her injury a mockery makes. The robbed that smiles steals something from the thief. He robs himself that spends a bootless grief. So let the Turk of Cyprus us beguile. We'll lose it not so long as we can smile. He bears the sentence well that nothing bears but the free comfort which from thence he hears. But he bears both the sentence and the sorrow that, to pay grief, most of poor patients borrow. These sentences to sugar or to gall, being strong on both sides, are equivocal. But words are words. I never did yet hear that this bruised heart was pierced through the ear. I humbly beseech you, proceed to the affairs of state. The Turk with the most mighty preparation makes for Cyprus. Othello, the fortitude of the place is best known to you, and though we have here a substitute of most allowed sufficiency, yet opinion sovereign mistress of effects, there is a more safer voice on you. You must therefore be content to slubber the gloss of your new fortunes with this most stubborn and boisterous expedition. The tyrant custom, most grave senators, hath made the flinty and still courage of war my thrice driven bed of down. I do agonize a natural and prompt alacrity. I find in harness and do undertake these present wars against the Ottomites. Most humbly therefore bending to your estate, I crave fit disposition for my wife. Do reference a place in exhibition, which such accommodation and besort as levels with her breeding. If you please, beat at her father's. I'll not have it so. Nor I. Nor I. I would not there reside to put my father in a patient's thoughts by being in his eye. Most gracious Duke, to my unfolding lend your gracious ear, and let me find a charter in your voice to assist my simpleness. What would you, Desdemona, that I did love the more to live with him? My downright violence and storm of fortunes may trumpet to the world. My heart subdued even to the very quality of my lord. I saw Othello's visage in his mind, and to his honors and his valiant parts did I my soul and fortunes consecrate. So that, dear lords, if I be left behind a moth of peace, and he go to the war, the rights for which I love him are bereft to me, and I a heavy interim shall support by his dear absence. Let me go with him. Let her have your voices. Vouch with me heaven, I therefore beg it not to please the palate of my appetite, nor to comply with heat. The young affects in me defunct, and proper satisfaction, but to be free and bounteous to her mind, and heaven defend your good souls that you think. I will your serious and great business scant. For she is with me. No, no, when light-winged toys of feather, Cupid seal and wanton dullness my speculative and office instruments, then I disports corrupt and taint my business. Let housewives make a skill to my helm, and all indign and base adversities make head against my estimation. Be it as you shall privately determine, either for her stay or going. The affair cries haste, and speed must answer it. You must away tonight, with all my heart. At 9 the morning here we meet again. Othello, leave some officer behind, and he shall our commission bring to you. We such things else of quality and respect as doth import you. So please your grace, my ancient a man he is of honesty and trust. To his conveyance I assign my wife. With what else needful your good grace shall think to be sent after me. Let it be so. Good night to everyone. And noble signor, if virtue no delighted beauty lack, your son-in-law is far more fair than black. Adieu, brave Moor. Use Desdemona well. Look to her more if thou hast eyes to see. She has deceived her father and made thee. My life upon her faith honest, Iago, my Desdemona may I leave to thee. I prithee, let thy wife attend on her, and bring them after in the best advantage. Come, Desdemona, I have but an hour of love of worldly matters and direction to spend with thee. We must obey the time. Iago, what saidst thou, noble heart? What will I do, thinkest thou? Why go to bed and sleep? I will incontently drown myself. Well, if thou dost, I shall never love thee after. Why, thou silly gentleman, it is silliness to live when to live is torment, and then have we a prescription to die when death is our physician. Oi, villainous! I have looked upon the world for 4 times 7 years, and since I could distinguish betwixt a benefit and an injury, I never found man that knew how to love himself. Ere I would say I would drown myself for the love of a guinea hen. I would change my humanity with a baboon. What should I do? I confess it is my shame to be so fond, but it is not in my virtue to amend it. Virtue, a fig, 'tis in ourselves that we are thus or thus. Our bodies are our gardens, to the which our wills are gardeners. So that if we will plant nettles or sow lettuce, set hyssop and weed up thine, supplied with one genera of herbs, or distracted with many, either to have it sterile with idleness or manured with industry, why the power and corrigible authority of this lies in our wills. If the balance of our lives had not one scale of reason to poise another of sensuality, the blood and baseness of our natures would conduct us to most preposterous conclusions. But we have reason to cool our rage and motions, our carnal strings, our unbited lust, whereof I take this that you call love to be a sect or scion. It cannot be. It is merely a lust of blood and a permission of the will. Come, be a man. Drown thyself. Drown cats and blind puppies. I profess me thy friend, and I confess me knit to thy deserving, with cables of perjurable toughness. I could never better steed thee than now. Put money in thy purse. Follow these wars, defeat thy favor with usurped beard. I say, put money in thy purse. It cannot be that Desdemona should long continue her love to the Moor. Put money in thy purse. Nor he his to her. It was a violent commencement in her, and thou shalt see it in answerable sequestration. Put but money in thy purse. These Moors are changeable in their will. Fill thy purse with money. The flood that to him now is as luscious as locusts shall be to him shortly as bitter as calaquintida. She must change for youth. When she is sated with his body, she will find the heir of her choice. She must have change. She must therefore put money in thy purse. If thou wouldst needs damn thyself, do it a more delicate way than drowning. Make all the money thou canst. If sanctimony they and a frail vow betwixt an erring barbarian and a supersubtle Venetian be not too hard for my wits and all the tribe of hell, thou shalt enjoy her. Therefore make money. A pox of drowning thyself, it is clean out of the way. Seek thou rather to be hanged in compassing thy joy than to be drowned and go without her. Wilt thou be fast to my hopes, if I depend on the issue? Thou art sure of me. Go make money. I have told thee often, and I retell thee again and again, I hate the Moor. My cause is hearted, thy hath no less reason. Let us be conjunctive in our revenge against him. If thou canst cuckold him, thou dost thyself a pleasure of me in sport. There are my events in the womb of time which will be delivered. Traverse, go, provide thy money. We will have more of this tomorrow. Adieu. Where shall we meet the morning? At my lodging? I'll be with thee betimes. Go to, farewell. Do you hear, Rodrigo? What say you? No more of drowning, do you hear? I'm changed, I'll sell all my land. Go to, farewell. Put money enough in your purse. Thus do I ever make my fool my purse. For I mine own gain knowledge should profane if I would time expand with such a snipe. For my sport and profit, I hate the Moor, and it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he has done my office. I know not if 't be true, but I, for mere suspicion in that kind, will do as if our surety. He holds me well. The better shall my purposes work on him. Cassio's a proper man. Let me see now to get his place, and to plume up my will in double knavery. How? Let's see, after some time to abuse Othello's ear, that he is too familiar with his wife. He hath a person and a smooth disposed to be suspected, framed to make woman false. The Moor is of a free and open nature, that thinks men honest that but seem to be so, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are. I haft, it is endangered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to this world's light. Othello, Act 2, Scene 1, a seaport town in Cyprus, an open place near the quay. What from the cape can you discern a sea? Nothing at all, it is as high as wrought flood. I cannot twixt the heaven and the main descry a sail. Methinks the wind hath spoke aloud at land. A fuller blast ne'er shook our battlements. If it hath ruffians so upon the sea, what ribs of oak, when mountains melt on them, can hold the mortise? What shall we hear of this? A segregation of the Turkish fleet, for do but stand upon the foaming shore. The chidden below seems to pelt the clouds, the wind-shake surge with high and monstrous main seems to cast water on the burning bear and quench the guards of the ever-fixed pole. I never did the molestation view on the enchafed flood. If that the Turkish fleet be not insheltered and invade, they are drowned. It is impossible they bear it out. News, lads! Our wars are done. The desperate tempest hath so banged the Turks that the designment halts. A noble ship of Venice hath been a grievous rack of sufferance on most part of their fleet. How is this true? The ship is here put in. A Veronesa, Michael Cassio, lieutenant to the warlike Moor Othello, is come on shore. The Moor himself at sea, and in full commission here for Cyprus. I'm glad on't, 'tis a worthy governor. But the same Cassio, though he speak of comfort touching the Turkish loss, yet he looks sadly and praises the Moor be safe, for they were parted with foul and violent tempers. Pray heaven he be, for I have served him, and the man commands like a full soldier. Let's to the seaside, ho, as well to see the vessel that come in as to throw out our eyes for brave Othello, even till we make the main and aerial blue in indistinct regard. Come, let's do so, for every minute is expectancy of more arrivance. Thanks, you the valiant of this warlike isle, that so approve the Moor. Oh, let the heavens give him defense against the elements, for I have lost him on a dangerous sea. Is he well shipped? His bark is stoutly timbered, and his pilot very expert in approved allowance. Therefore my hopes, not surfeited to death, stand in bold cure. A sail, a sail, a sail! What noise? The town is empty on the brow of the sea. Stand ranks of people, and they cry, a sail. My hopes do shape him for the governor. They do discharge their shot at courtesy, our friends at least. I pray you, sir, go forth, and give us truth who 'tis that is arrived. I shall. But, good lieutenant, is your general wived? Most fortunately, he hath achieved a maid that paragons description and wild fame, one that excels the quirks of blazoning pens, and the essential vesture of creation does tire the engineer. How now? Who has put in? 'Tis one Iago, ancient to the general. He has most favorable and happy speed, tempers himself high seas and howling winds. The guttered rocks and congregated sands, traitors and steep to clog the guiltless keel, as having sense of beauty do omit their mortal natures, letting go safely by the vine at Desdemona. What is she? She that I spake of, our great captain's captain, left in the conduct of the bold Iago, whose footing here anticipates our thoughts. I snight speed, great Jove, Othello guard, and swell his sail with thine own powerful breath, that he may bless this bay with its tail ship. Make love's quick pants in Desdemona's arms, give renewed fire to our extinct spirits, and bring all Cyprus comfort, the hard way. Oh, behold, the riches of the ship. Ye men of Cyprus, let her have your knees. Hail to thee, lady, and the grace of heaven before and behind thee. Oh yeah, and on every hand and wheel thee around. I thank you, valiant Cassio. What tidings can you tell me of my lord? He's not yet arrived, nor know I aught but that he's well, and will be shortly here. Ah, unfortunately. Oh, but I fear, how lost you company. The great contention of the sea and skies parted our fellowship, but hark, a sail. A sail, guns heard. They give a greeting to the citadel. This likewise is a friend. See for the news. Good ancient, you are welcome. Welcome, mistress, let it not gall your patience. Good Iago, that I extend my manners. 'Tis my breeding that gives me this bold show of courtesy. Sir, would she give you so much of her lips, as of her tongue she oft bestows on me? You'd have enough. Alas, she has no speech. In faith, too much I find it still when I have list to sleep. Marry before your ladyship, I grant, she puts her tongue a little in her heart, and chides with thinking. You have a little cause to say so. Come on, you are pictures out of doors. Bells in your parlor, wild cats in your kitchen, saints in your injuries, devils being offended, plays in your housewifery, and housewives in your beds. Oh, fie upon thee, slanderer! Nay, it is true, or else I am a Turk. You rise to play and go to bed to work. You shall not write my praise. No, let me not. What wouldst thou write of me if thou shouldst praise me? Oh, gentle lady, do not put me to it, for I am nothing if not critical. Come on, essay. There's one gone to the harbor? Aye, madam. I am not merry, but I do beguile the thing I'm by seeing otherwise. Come, how wouldst thou praise me? I'm about it, but indeed my invention comes from my pate of bird lime does from fries. It plucks out brains and all, but my muse labors, and thus she's delivered. If she be fair and wise, fairness and wit, the one for use, the other useth it. well praised. How if she be black and witty? If she be black and thereto have a wit, she'll find a wit white that shall her blackness fit. Worse and worse, how if fair and foolish? She never yet was foolish that was fair, for even her folly helped her to an heir. These are old fond paradoxes to make fools laugh, aye, the alehouse. What miserable praise hast thou for her that's foul and foolish? There's none so foul and foolish thereunto, but does foul pranks which fair and wise ones do. O heavy ignorance, thou praisest the worst best, but what praise couldst thou bestow on a deserving woman indeed, one that in the authority of their merit did justly put on the vouch of very malice itself? She that was ever fair and never proud, had tongue at will and yet was never loud, never lacked gold and yet went never gay, fled from her wish and yet said, now I may. She that being angered, her revenge being nigh, bade her wrong stay and her displeasure fly. She that in wisdom never was so frail to change the cod's head for the salmon's tail. She that could think and ne'er disclose her mind, see suitors following and not look behind. She was a white, if ever such white were. To do what? To suckle fools and chronicle small beer? Oh, most lame and impotent conclusion! Do not learn of him, Amelia, though he be thy husband. How say you, Cassio? Is he not a most profane and liberal counselor? He speaks home, madam, you may relish him more in the soldier than in the scholar. He takes her by the palm, aye, well said, whisper. With as little a web as this will I ensnare as great a fly as Cassio. I smile upon him. Do. I will give thee in thine own courtship. You say true, 'tis so, indeed. If such tricks as these strip you out of your lunatency, it had been better that you had not kissed your 3 fingers so oft, which now again you are most apt to play with the air in. Very good, well kissed. An excellent courtesy, 'tis so, indeed. Yet again your fingers to your lips. Would they were Clyster's pipes for your sake. The more I know his trumpet. 'Tis truly so. Let's meet him and receive him. Lo, where he comes. Oh, my fair warrior, my dear Othello, it gives me wonder great as my content to see you here before me. Oh, my soul's joy, if after every tempest comes such calms, may the winds blow till they have wakened death, and let the labouring bark climb in hills of seas Olympus high, and duck again as low as hell's from heaven. If it were now to die, it were now to be most happy, for I fear my soul cannot be content, so absolute that not another comfort like to this succeeds an unknown fate. Keep reaching. The heavens forbid, but that our loves and comforts should increase even as our days do grow. Amen to that. Sweet powers, nay, I cannot speak enough of this content. It stops me here. It is much of joy, and this the greatest discords be, that e'er our hearts shall make. Oh, you are well tuned now, but I'll set down the pegs that make this music as honest as I am. Come, let us to the castle. New friends, our wars are done, the Turks are drowned. How does my old acquaintance of this isle? He should be well desired in Cyprus. I have found great love amongst them. Oh, my sweet, I prattle out of fashion, and I dote in my own comforts. I prithee, good Iago, go to the bay and disbark my coffers. Bring thou the master to the citadel. He's a good one, and his worthiness does challenge much respect. Come, Desdemona, once more we'll meet at Cyprus. Do thou meet me presently at the harbour? Come hither. If thou be'st valiant, as they say base men, being in love, hast then a nobility in their natures more than is the nature of them, list me. Lieutenant to night watches on the court of guard. First I must tell thee this. Desdemona is directly in love with him. With him? Why, 'tis not possible. Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me with that what violence she first loved the more, but for bragging and telling her fantastical lies. And will she love him for her prating? Let not thy discreet heart think it. Her eye must be fed, and what delight shall she have to look on the devil? When the blood is made dull with active sport, there should be again to inflame it, and to give satiety a great appetite. loveliness and favor, sympathy in years, manners, and beauties, all which the Moor is defective in. Now, for want of these required conveniences, her delicate tenderness will find itself abused. Begin to heave it gorge, disrelish and abhor the Moor, very nature will instruct her in it, and compel her to some second choice. Now, sir, the granted as it is a most pregnant and unforced position. Who stands so enmity in the degree of this fortune as Cassio does? A knave, very voluble, no further conscionable than in putting on the mere form of civil and humane, seeming for the better compassion of his salt and most hidden loose affection. Why none, a slipper and a subtle knave, a finder out of occasions, that has an eye can stamp and counterfeit advantages, though true advantage never presents itself, a devilish knave. Besides, the knave is handsome, young, and hath all those requisites in him that folly and green minds look after. A pestilent complete knave, and the woman hath found him already. I cannot believe that in her she is full of most blessed condition. Blessed figs in, the wine she drinks is made with grapes. If she had been blessed, she would never have loved the Moor. Blessed pudding, didst thou not see her paddle with the palm of his hand? Didst not mark that? Yes, that I did, but that was but courtesy. Lechery by this hand, an index and obscure prologue to the history of lust and foul thoughts. They met so near with their lips that their breasts embraced together. Villainous thoughts, Rodrigo, when these mutualities so marshal the way, hard at hand comes the master and main exercise, the incorporate conclusion. Pish, but sir, be you ruled by me, I have brought you from Venice. Watch you tonight, for the command I'll lay upon you. Cassio knows you not. I'll not be far from you. Do you find some occasion to anger Cassio? Either by speaking too loud or changing his discipline, or from what other course you please, which the time shall more favorably minister. Well, sir, he is a rash and very sudden in choler, and happy may strike at you. Provoke him that he may, for even after that will I cause thee of Cyprus to mutiny, whose qualification shall come into no true taste again but by the disciplining of Cassio. So shall you have a shorter journey to your desires, by the means I shall then have to prefer them, and the impediments most profitably removed, without which there were no expectation of her prosperity. I will do this, if I can bring it to any opportunity. I warrant thee, meet me by and by at the citadel. I must fetch this necessaries ashore. Farewell. Adieu. That Cassio loves, sir, I do well believe it. That she loves him, 'tis apt and of great credit. The more happite that I endure him not, is of a constant, loving, noble nature, and I dare think he'll prove to Desdemona a most dear husband. Now, I do love her too, not out of absolute lust, though peradventure I stand accounted for as great a sin, but partly led to die to my revenge, for that I do respect the lusty Moor hath leaped into my feet, the thought whereof doth like a poisonous mineral gnaw my inward, and nothing can or shall content my soul till I am evened with him, wife for wife, or failing so, yet that I put the Moor at least into a jealousy so strong that judgment cannot cure. Which thing to do if this poor trash of Venice, whom I trash for this quick hunting, stand the putting on? I'll have our Marco Cassio on the hip, abuse him to the Moor on the rank guard, for I fear Cassio with my nightcap too. Make the Moor thank me, love me, and reward me for making him egregiously an ass and practicing upon his peace and quiet even to madness. 'Tis here but yet confused, and knavery's plain face is never seen till used. Now, Scene 2. A street. Enter a herald with a proclamation, people following. It is Othello's pleasure, our noble and valiant general, that upon certain tidings now arrived, importing the mere perdition of the Turkish fleet, every man put himself into triumph, some to dance, some to make bonfires, each man to what sport and revels his addiction leads him. For besides these beneficial news, it is the celebration of his nuptial. So much was his pleasure should be proclaimed. All offices are open, and there is full liberty of feasting from this present hour of 5 till the bell hath tolled even. Heaven bless the Isle of Cyprus and our noble General Othello. Scene 3. On the castle. Good Michael, look you to the guard tonight. Let's teach ourselves that autumn will stop. not to outsport discretion. Iago has discretion what to do, but notwithstanding with my personal eye, will I look toot. Iago is most honest. Michael, good night. Tomorrow with your earliest, let me get speech with you. Come, my dear love. The purchase made, the fruits are to ensue, the profits yet to come, twixt me and you. Good night. Welcome, Iago, we must to the watch. Not this hour, Lieutenant, 'tis not yet 10 o'clock. Our general cast us thus early for the love of his Desdemona, who let us not therefore blame. He hath not yet made wanton the night with her, and she is sport for Jove. She's a most exquisite lady, and I'll warrant her full of game. Indeed, she is a most fresh and delicate creature. What an eye she hath! Methinks it sounds a parley of provocation, an inviting eye, and yet methinks right modest. And when she speaks, is it not an alarum to love? She's indeed perfection. Well, happiness to their sheets. Come, Lieutenant, I have a stoup of wine, and here without are a brace of Cyprus gallants that would fain have a measure to the health of black Othello. Not tonight, good Iago. I have very poor and unhappy brains for drinking. I could well wish courtesy would invent some other custom of entertainment. Oi, they are our friends, but 1 cup I'll drink for you. I have drunk but 1 cup tonight, and that was craftily qualified too. And behold, what innovation it makes here. I am unfortunate in infirmity, and dare not task my weakness with any more. What man to the night of revels, the gallants desire it. Where are they? Here at the door, I pray you. Call them. I'll do it, but it dislikes me. If I can fasten but 1 cup upon him, with that which he hath drunk tonight already, he'll be as a fool of quarrel and offence as my young mistress' dog. Now, my sick fool, Rodrigo, whom love has turned almost the wrong side out, to Desdemona hath tonight caroused. Potations pottled deep, and he's to watch. 3 lads of Cyprus noble, swelling spirits that hold their honours in a wary distance, the very elements of this warlike isle, have I tonight flustered with flowering cups, as they watch too. Now, amongst this flock of drunkards, am I to put your Cassio in some action that may offend the isle? But here they come, if consequence do but approve my dream. My boat sails freely, both with wind and stream. For God, they have given me a rouse already. Good faith, a little one not past the pint as I am a soldier. Some wine, ho! Let me the cannikin clink, clink, and let me the cannikin clink. A soldier is a man, a life but a span. Why then let a soldier drink? Some wine, boys! For God, an excellent song. I learned it in England, where landed they are most potent and poting. Your Dane, your German, your swag-bellied Hollander. Drink, ho, are nothing to your English. Is your Englishman so expert in his drinking? Why, he drinks you with faculty, your Dane dead drunk. He sweats not to overthrow your Alman. He gives your Hollander a vomit ere the next pall can be fit. To the health of our general. I am for it, Lieutenant, and I'll do it you justice. O sweet England! King Stephen was a worthy peer, his breeches cost him but a crown, his held them 6 pence all too dear, with that he called the tailor town. He was a weight of high renown, and thou art but of low degree, 'tis pride that pulls the country down, and take thine and cloak about thee. Some wine, ho! Why, this is a more exquisite song than the others. Will you hear it again? No, for I hold him to be unworthy of his place that does those things. Will God above all, and there he souls must be saved, and there be souls must not be saved. It's true, good Lieutenant, for my own part, no offence to the general nor any man of quality. I hope to the saved, and so do I too, Lieutenant. Aye, but by your leave, not before me. The lieutenant is to be saved before the ancient. Let's have no more of this. Let's to our affairs. God forgive us our sins. Gentlemen, let's look to our business. Do not think, gentlemen, I am drunk. This is my ancient, this is my right hand, and this is my left hand. I am not drunk now. I can stand well enough and speak well enough.
I can
Excellent, well.
feel it in the room.
Why, very well. Then you must not think,
Get out.
then, that I am drunk.
Now.
To the platform, masters. Come, let's set the watch. You see this fellow that has gone before?
We can feel it.
He's a soldier fit to stand by Caesar, and give direction, and do but see his vice. 'Tis to this virtue a just equinox, the one as long as the others. 'Tis pity of him. I fear the trust Othello put him in, on some odd time of his infirmity, will shake this land. But is he often thus? 'Tis evermore the prologue of his sleep. He watched the horlog a double set, if drink rock not his cradle. It were well the general were put in mind of it. Perhaps he sees it not, or his good nature prizes the virtue that appears in Cassio, and looks not on his evils. Is not this true? How now, Rodrigo? I pray you, after the lieutenant, go. And 'tis great pity that the noble Moor should hazard such a place at his own second with one of an ingraft infirmity. It were an honest action to say so to the Moor. Not I, for this fair island I do love Cassio well, and would do much to cure him of this evil. But hark, what noise? You rogue, you rascal. What's the matter, lieutenant? A knave teach me my duty? I'll beat the knave into a twig and bottle. Beat me. Dost thou prate, rogue? Nay, good lieutenant, I pray you, sir, hold your hand. Let me go, sir, or I'll knock you o'er the mazzard. Come, come, you're drunk. Drunk? Away, I say, go, out and cry a mutiny. Nay, good lieutenant. God's will, gentlemen. Help, ho, lieutenant, sir, Montanano, sir. Help, master, to the goodly watch indeed. Who's that rings the bell? Diablo, ho, the town will rise. God's will, lieutenant, hold, you will be shamed forever. What is the matter here? Zounds, I bleed still, I am hurt to the death. Hold for your lives. Hold, ho, lieutenant, sir, Montano, gentlemen, have you forgot all sense of place and duty? Hold, that the general speaks to you. Hold for shame. Why, how now, ho? From whence arises this? Are we turned Turks, and to ourselves do that which heaven hath forbid the Ottomites? For Christian shame put by this barbarous brawl. He that serves next to car for his own rage holds his soul light. He dies upon his motion. Silence the dreadful bell. It frights the isle from her propriety. What is the matter, masters? Honest, Iago, that looketh dead with grieving. Speak, who began this? On thy love I charge thee. I do not know. Friends would all now even know, now.
Yeah, I can
and
feel it in the
court are ending
room,
terms
like
like bride and groom,
leave.
devastating them for bed. And then but now, as if some planet and unwitched men, swords out and titling one of others' breasts, in opposition bloody. I cannot speak any beginning to this peevish odds, and would in action glorious I had lost those legs that brought me to a part of it. How comes it, Michael, you are thus forgot? I pray you, pardon me, I cannot speak. Worthy Montano, you were wont to be civil. The gravity and stillness of a youth the world hath noted, and your name is great in mouths of wise as censure. And what's the matter, that you unlace your reputation thus and spend your rich opinion for the name of a knight brawler? Give me answer to it. Worthy Othello, I am hurt to danger. Your officer Iago can inform you, while I spare speech, which something now offends me. Of all that I do know, nor know I aught, but by me that I said or done amiss this night, unless self-charity be sometimes a vice, and to defend ourselves it be a sin when violence assails us. Now, by heaven, my blood begins my safer guides to rule, and passion, having my judgment cold, I will not show mercy, officer. On that warrant you have on my computer, I will not show you warrant. I promise you no mercy here. Now, by heaven, my blood begins my safer guides to rule, and passion having my best judgment colleague, essays to lead the way. If I once stir, or do by lift this arm, the best of you shall sink in my rebuke. Give me to know how this foul rout began, who set it on, and he that is approved in this offense, though he had twined with me, both it at birth, shall lose me. What, in a town of war? Yet why the people's hearts brim full of fear, to manage private and domestic quarrel, in night and on the court and guard of safety? 'Tis monstrous, Iago, who began it? If partially fined or leagued in office, thou dost deliver more or less than truth. Thou art no soldier. touch me not so near. I had rather have this tongue cut from my mouth than it should do offense to Michael Cassio. Yet I persuade myself to speak the truth shall nothing wrong him. Thus it is, General. Montano and myself being in speech, here comes a fellow crying out for help, and Cassio falling with determined sword to execute upon him. Sir, this gentleman steps into Cassio and entreats his pause. Myself the crying fellow did pursue, lest by his clamor, or it so fell out, the town might fall in fright. He swift of foot outran my purpose, and I returned the rather for that I heard the clink and fall of sword. You're not coming. End of discussion. Goodbye. Ladies, who are you gonna... I'm not arguing about it. How about that? And Cassio, I know. I'm not arguing about it. You chose. Which till tonight, I ne'er might say before, when I came back for this war brief, I found them close together as blow and thrust, even as again they were when you yourself did part them. More of this matter can I not report, but men are men, the most sometimes forget, though Cassio did something little wrong to him, as men in rage strike those that wish them best. Yet surely Cassio, I believe, received from him that fled some strange indignity, which patience could not pass. I know Iago, thy honest and love doth mince this matter, making it delight to Cassio. Cassio, I love thee, but nevermore be officer of mine. Look, if my gentle love be not raised up, I'll make thee an example. What's the matter? All's well now, sweeting. Come away to bed. So if you're hurt, myself will be your surgeon. Lead them off. Iago, look with care about the town, and silence those whom with vile brawl distracted. Come, Desdemona, 'tis a soldier's life to have their balmy slumbers waked with strife. What, are you hurt, Lieutenant? Aye, past all surgery. Marry, heaven forbid. Reputation, reputation, reputation. Oh, I have lost my reputation. I have lost the immortal part of myself, and what remains is bestial. My reputation, Iago, my reputation. As I am an honest man, I thought you had received some bodily wound. There is more offense in that than in reputation. Reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft got without merit and lost without deserving. You have lost no reputation at all, unless you repute yourself such a loser. What man? There are ways to recover the general again. Ladies, you will not be getting past this. So I'm going to be finding that little hole that little douchebag is in. I'm going to be shitting on you. You will not be joining them on any island anywhere. I'm going to be finding that island. I'm going to put my foot in it, you dumb motherfucker. Ladies, I mean what I say. I promise you ain't getting past this. Get a knife. That's the only way you're getting up. That means to an end, grown man general. I mean what I say. I will kill you. So let's go ahead and get that warrant off me now. I have the rights here, not you. I warrant you, dumbass. You are not getting out of this, in this life or the next, ladies. I mean what I say, bitch. What a man! There are ways to recover the general pain. You are, but now casting his mood and punishment more in policy and malice. Even so as one would beat his offensive dog to affright an imperious lion. Sue to him again, and he is yours. I will rather sue to be despised than to deceive so good a commander with so slight, so drunken, and so indiscreet an officer.
That'd be great.
Drunk, and speak parrot, and squabble, swagger, swear, and discourse, fustian, and one's own shadow. O thou invisible spirit of wine, if thou hast no name to be known by, let us call thee devil. What was he that you followed with your sword? What had he done to you? I know not. It's possible. I remember a mass of things, but nothing distinctly. Like a goose. False alarm, dumb bitch. I promise you are not getting past Clayton Dale Smith in any goddamn plane of existence. A quarrel, but nothing. Wherefore? Oh God! That men should put an enemy in their mouths to steal away their brains. That we should with joy, pleasance, revel, and applause transform ourselves into beasts. Why, but you are now well enough. How came you thus recovered? It hath pleased the devil drunkenness to give place to the devil wrath. One imperfectness shows me another, to make me frankly despise myself. Come! You are too severe a moraler. As the time, the place, and the condition of this country stand, I could heartily wish this had not befallen. But since it is as it is, mend, for it's your own good. I will ask him for my place again. He shall tell me I am a drunkard. Had I as many mouths as Hydra, such an answer would stop them all. To be now a sensible man, by and by a fool, and presently a beast. Oh, strange! Every inordinate cup is unblessed, an ingredient is a devil. Come, come, good wine is a good familiar creature if it be well used. Exclaim no more against it. And good lieutenant, I think you love, I love you. I have well approved it, sir. I drunk. You are any man living may be drunk at some time, man. I'll tell you what you shall do. Our general's wife is now the general. I may say so in this respect, for that he hath devoted and given him up himself to the contemplation, nay, mark and denotement of her parts and graces. Confess yourself freely to her, importune her. She'll have to put you in your place again. She is of so free, so kind, so apt, so blessed a disposition, and she holds it a vice in her goodness not to do more than she is requested. This broken joint between you and her husband and preacher to splinter, and my fortunes against any lay worth naming this crack of your love shall grow stronger than it was before. You advise me well. I protest in the sincerity of love and honest kindness. I think it freely, and betimes in the morning I will beseech the virtuous Desdemona to undertake for me. I am desperate of my fortunes if they check me here. You are in the right. Good night, Lieutenant, I must to the watch. Good night, honest Iago. And what's he then, says I play the villain. When this advice is free, not, I give an honest probable to think in indeed the course to win the more again. For 'tis most easy the inclining Desdemona to subdue in any honest suit. She's framed as fruitful as the free elements. And then for her to win the more were to renounce his baptism, all seals and symbols of redeemed sin, his soul's to enfettered to her love, that she may make unmake, do what she list, even as her appetite shall play the God with his weak function. How am I then a villain to counsel Cassio to this parallel course, directly to his good? Divinity of hell, when devils will the blackest sins put on, they do suggest at first with heavenly shows, as I do now. For while this honest fool plies Desdemona to repair his fortunes, and she for him pleads strongly to the more, I'll pour this pestilence into his ear, that she repels him for her body's lust. And by how much she strives to do him good, she shall undo her credit with the more. So will I turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her own goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all. I do follow here in the chase. How now, Rodrigo? Not like a hound that hunts, but one that fills up the cry. My money is almost spent. I have been tonight exceedingly well cudgeled, and I think the issue will be I shall have so much experience for my pains, and so with no money at all and a little more wit, return again to Venice. How poor are they that I have not patience? What wound did ever heal but by degrees? Thou knowest we work by wit and not by witchcraft, and wit depends on dilatory time. Does not go well? Cassio hath beaten thee, and thou by thy small hurt hath cashiered Cassio. Thou other things grow fair against the sun, yet fruits that blossom first will first be ripe. Content thyself a while. By thy mass, 'tis morning pleasure and action make the hours seem short. Retire thee, go where thou art belighted. I say thou shalt know more hereafter. Nay, get thee gone. 2 things are here to be done. My wife must move for Cassio to her mistress. I'll set her on. Myself the while to draw the more apart, and bring him jump when he may Cassio find soliciting his wife. Aye, that's the way. Dull not device, by coldness and delay. Nay.
That's all I have. That's unfortunate.